Well, hello everyone. So I finally got that one locker from before. That's the last little bit. It ended up being 3.5 van loads of stuff that I had to pull out of there. And in the last video, I talked about how one of them was not normal. So this is still the remnants here. There's a speaker right there, which I'm kind of hoping that works. So if it does, I have a little white speaker that I like, that where I can plug in a USB and it plays the music. That one has a USB, which I think is a player. So if it works, I'm going to keep that just so I can play my music, which that'll be a bonus. But I want to talk about this locker before we get to the other locker, the one I just opened. So I bought this locker for $5. Realistically, everything was there that should have said it. Like I seen things that it should have been a good locker. So I found a Glock bag, I found a holster, I found a bunch of knives, I found the AR-15 repair kit. There's been nothing else in this locker unless it's in these things here, which I doubt it just by the way they feel. But it should have been a decent locker. It just the way it was packed. I mean, it is a dirty locker, and I filled up all my trash cans twice. So I have to wait until the trash cans at my house are emptied so I can finish this little bit here. But, this is the risk of buying storage lockers, is sometimes you just get an absolute crap one. And I'm going to probably clear about $150 off this $5 locker, but for tax reasons and everything else, I always claim $100 to clean out a locker, which, by the time you go through it, clean it, process it, everything else, that's a realistic evaluation for tax purposes. So if I bid $5 on the locker, by the time I get everything ready, I'm exuding at least $105 worth of labor and everything else. So, but the locker is not a good locker. I don't want to say it's a good locker, but it's not a horrible, worst locker I've ever had. I did find some drug paraphernalia. Basically, it was the bongs. So I broke all them and threw them into trash, and found a lot of old rock and roll CDs, but none of the cases. Just they were all in like a folder book. Found some 80s Jaguar memorabilia. Gators memorabilia. Found some decent jewelry, nothing gold or silver, but some nice pieces. And a lot of just random stuff that I'm going to get $5-10 a piece out of. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to get $5 to $10 a piece. So, everything being said, it's not a horrible locker. Just the way it was packed, some of the stuff I found in there, it was just weird as hell. Like there was one backpack, and it had like nothing but tablets in it. And I found another suitcase full of laptops. I found another suitcase full of paint. And it was just some of the most weirdest crap I've ever seen in storage. So, but anyways, enough about that one. So this one here I bought for $20. Has this little refrigerator here. It does work. The owner unplugged it whenever we had the auction. Scrap. This is a brand new jack and some jack stands and everything. I figured I could utilize this stuff here for the turd, and getting some things worked on. But I like the jack in the case, so I'm going to keep that for $20. It's a $70 jack. Here, how about I just open it up and show it to you? Yeah. But yes, the jack and the two jack stands all in a thing. So 2.25 ton. But yeah, it's a nice little thing. I'm going to figure out how to put it all back together. Then there's the IKEA bed, which I believe I have a mattress for this in one of the other lockers. So I may have to bring the trailer. I kind of wanted to come here and figure out how this comes apart, but I may end up just bringing the trailer and keeping it together. Little vacuum, don't know if it works. Some shoes, bad extension cord. This is not nowhere near as much trash as the other one. These little things here, I haven't looked them up, but they're like some heavy duty hooks. I got to unscrew all these off the wall. And then just, a little bit of money and tools, not a whole lot, but $20 mainly. I'm going to get my money back from the refrigerator, and I'm keeping that, and I'm scrapping that for $10. So the scrappers buy the batteries for around $10. But, it's not bad, but It's not a home run. And the next two videos, well, not necessarily the next two videos, but the next two lockers I go through, I just realized there's another extension cord. So there's a $20 bill, 5 to 10 on the, what do you call them, little jumper cables. I mean, there is some stuff in here, you know, and this one's a whole lot easier to clean out than the last one, but I will have to bring my trailer for this here. So I don't know if it'll, there's these weird like little screwy things down here. So I guess some mechanism to take apart. I'll probably just end up grabbing a dolly and throwing it on the trailer. And this is the wood that you put across, and then the bar here, which this is the name of the bed. That's how I know it's IKEA. So that goes across, and then all the wood goes on top, and then you put the mattress on it. And like I said, I got a mattress in one of the other storage units, which you're going to see, and it's like one of them expensive ass mattresses. So but the next two, I'm gonna try to make a video tonight and do a walkthrough for the garage sale, and then pretty much after that I'll have two videos, which them are the money makers. So remember, I spent $200 on all this stuff, and so far we're at $30. You know, so all the rest of the money went into these other lockers. So, but it's like I said, it's not horrible. It's kind of just some random stuff here, and you know, all these little wrenches and stuff, I'm gonna throw them on the dollar table, and if I see Snap-on, I sell Snap-on for $3. The ratchets, I usually sell them for around $3 to $5. You know, just. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking while it's recording. So these here, I'm gonna try to put these on Facebook Marketplace, and I got one of the little tools where you put it and it says what the lug pattern is. So. But I got a whole bunch of like random 1 or 2 tires, and I'm gonna put them on there for $20 a piece, rim and tire, and just see what happens. See if someone needs a spare, or you know, just needs something that is better than the stuff they have. Oh, and that has to go get dumped. That's full of oil. But whatever was here, I'm guessing there was a lot more at some point. You know, but what he left, and I spent $20 on it. And like I said, that's what I wanted to keep for me. So that right there makes it worthwhile. This is my profit, and everything else is scraps. So, and I don't know what I'm going to get for the bed frame. So I'm thinking, you know, full size. I think it's full. It might be queen, but I'm thinking, you know, at least $50 maybe. You know, 30 to $50. So I'm just going to see how it puts together. You know, I might list it for more, but, you know, we'll see what happens. But anyways, it's been, and I already made the video about the flea market. So, yeah, that was a crazy thing this weekend, or Wednesday as well. So, I'm just seeing if I see anything else while I'm doing here. So, I'm going to load up the tires, load up this little bit of stuff, because all that's going to end up going to my house. And, yeah, I got to take all that other stuff to my house to see if I can process it once they dump the trash. And I've sold quite a few doors. I've done like 700 this week in doors, and I got someone coming to buy another one, I think for 75. So, you know, it's like part of me wants to do more doors because they're money, but I need to get all this other stuff out of the way. So what I'm going to do is keep working on the warehouse. Once the warehouse is set up, then I'm going to start getting into the back room. Once the back room's empty, then I start building doors. So, but until then, I need to stay focused. I need to stay on track and just get all this stuff listed, and I'll start making a lot of money. But yeah, peace, love, money. I'm out.